Jizzle, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business. And listen, you can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. In Wack 100, you again are the topic of discussion, my G. Wack 100, you are the topic of discussion, my G. So let's get right into it. And yes, man, DJ AKADEMIKS went live. He went live with Hassan Campbell. You feel what I'm saying? And they had pretty decent dialogue going back and forth, you know, just trying to figure out exactly where Hassan Campbell and Wack 100 went wrong. Just trying to figure out exactly where Hassan Campbell and Wack 100 went left. You feel what I'm saying? Now, DJ AKADEMIKS, he's on live with Haas. Haas is doing a lot of explaining, you know, just breaking down what made him release that audio. What made him go and release that audio of Wack 100 talking crazy about Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean? Exposing Big U, right? And then admitting that he puts the squeeze. He puts the squeeze on, you know, the Drink Champs, you know, Gilly and Wallow, and just how much Adam No Jumper is in the back pocket. Yeah, I mean, he said a lot. He said a lot in this audio, Wack. You said a whole bunch. You said a mouthful, my boy. You said a mouthful in this audio, my G. And they were just trying to figure out exactly what happened. And boom, out of nowhere, here comes Wack 100 to defend his honor. Wack 100 pops into the live. Now you got Hassan Campbell, you got Wack 100 going head to head, back and forth. I mean, again, it almost looked like a play is being ran. But if you can look through the smoke and mirrors, if you can see clearly, what you will understand is this was not a setup play. This just happened organically, putting 4 clowns at the round table at one time. This is the stuff that comes out of that, you know? And Wack had a lot to say. Haas had a lot to say as well. And AKADEMIKS, you know, he played the cut as he should. As he should. You feel me? I mean, like I said again, a lot was said. And we're going to address this. We're going to address this because it is what it is and it'll be exactly what it's going to be. It is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And that leads me and segues me into my first angle. My first angle, and that's Wack 100 not standing on business. That is Wack 100 not standing on business. Now again, Wack 100 pops into this live, and he gets to talking about taking Hassan's page. You feel me? You know, Hassan is a liar, X, Y, and Z. But what you got to understand, Wack, is Hassan didn't make you say those things over that phone call. Hassan can't be a liar because you said it. You said it. He only exposed the audio of you talking too much over the phone. You know, Wack, you the one that's going to get the whole squad indicted. You talking so recklessly over the phone. You the weak link. You the chink in the armor, Wack 100. You going to get the whole squad locked up. You feel what I'm saying? And it gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface, my G. And we definitely gonna scratch the surface here at Grown Man Business TV. We scratching the surface. You feel what I'm saying? So again, you know, Wack 100 pops on the live, and he's defending himself, and he's explaining, and now he's copping a plea. This is exactly what I meant when I said, don't do that, Wack 100. Instead of copping a plea, instead of waving a white flag, instead of trying to make, you know, an excuse for your words, how about you stand on business? You stand on your words, and you say it is what it is, and I said what I said, and it's all facts. But instead, you ain't standing on business. You cop the plea. You waving a white flag. You feel me? He's doing a whole bunch of explaining, this is what I meant by that, and that is what this meant, and this is what that meant, but we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. You understand? This is probably going to be a slight decline for Wack 100, because up until now, Wack 100 stood on business. He'd say something, he'd stand on it. Grown Man Business TV, he stand on it. But with this incriminating audio, I mean, it's such a stain on a sweater. It's such a chink in the armor that it's hard to explain. You really can't explain calling Big U one of the biggest snakes out there. You really can't explain exposing that Big U was going to have you lean on Laura London, lean on Black Sam for 30% of Nipsey Hussle's estate. It's, you can't make no excuses for that. It is what it is, and it'll be exactly what it's going to be, Wack. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I was waiting to see. You talk reckless, you talk crazy, right? But you're not standing on business. And one thing you got to understand about somebody that's been caught red-handed, when a person has been caught red-handed, one of the first things they do is start deflecting. Yeah, it's called deflecting. So if you notice, Haas, right, and DJ AKADEMIKS kind of leaned on it like, yo, the things that you said is affecting people's family, Nipsey Hussle's family. You have to address that. And all Wack did was try to get disrespectful. All Wack did was try to change the narrative into, him disrespecting Haas on camera. And he disrespected him multiple upon multiple times. And why didn't Haas do something then? And why didn't Haas do something then? You understand what I'm saying? Everything except addressing what you said on that phone call, Wack 100. You did everything except address what you said on that phone call, my boy. And I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But that right there, man, that shows that you're inferior. You're not superior. In this situation, you're inferior. You understand? I mean, that was a long live, and you didn't address what you said on that phone one time, Wack. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratch it, the surface. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And this leads me and segues me into my second angle. My second angle, my G. And that's Hassan Campbell. That's Haas. Now, I go through the comments and I see a lot of people, they be like, yo, GMB TV, you ain't got nothing good to say about Hassan Campbell. You ain't got nothing good. Nah, I rocks with Haas. I rocks with Hassan Campbell, right? I rock with a lot of the message, but there are always going to be small chinks in the armor that need to be addressed. You understand? And what Wack was doing was foul. What Wack was doing was deflecting. You understand what I mean? I mean, straight sucker move right there, Wack. But I gotta say, what he was trying to press on to Haas is something I've been saying. It's something I've been saying. Haas talks about having bodies. Haas talks about, being thorough in these streets and how he'll back out. But you got somebody like Africa Bambaataa still walking the earth. You got somebody like an Africa Bambaataa living his life and he's not in fear after what he did to you. You understand? Because, I'm not, you said that you didn't get penetrated. He thigh'd you. This is your words, Haas. That man thigh'd you. He greased up your thighs and he went to work on your thighs. As a kid, right? Wrong. Homie's supposed to be laid down. There's no way. Listen, homie's supposed to be out of here. And if you couldn't do it as a child, when you get grown, you don't give him a pass because he put food in your refrigerator. You don't give him a pass because he decides to help you. You understand? When somebody has dirt on their name like that, yeah, they're going to help you, hoping you don't expose them. Yeah, they're going to put food in your refrigerator, hoping you don't expose them. You understand? So just like, like I said, the higher-ups and the elites, the portal, the initiation, the proposal, when you start accepting goods, when you start accepting food from the very guy that thigh'd you, you have walked through one of those doors, Haas. You have walked through one of the Nori doors, Haas. And that's probably the LBG 123 ABC gang, the Rainbow Coalition, Haas. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But that had to be addressed. And I will say this. I feel like if Wack 100 really would have stood on business while he was in that room with you, then y'all would have went to blows. Y'all would have fought each other. You know, the way Wack 100 was trying to disrespect Haas on the live is not the same way he was disrespecting Haas in person. He was throwing rocks but hiding his hand in person. So he was asking these questions and he was pressing, but he wasn't being disrespectful. One thing I will say is I don't believe Haas would have let Wack 100 slide with being disrespectful about him in his situation with Africa Bambaataa. But you gotta be careful, and you gotta tread the fence lightly when you talking about being a whole gangster, when you talking about being a body man, but the guy who touched you, has not been touched. And yeah, you was a kid, right? But once you hit a certain age, 11, 12, when I was 10, bro, you couldn't have touched me, bro. Without being exposed, I would have told my mama, you think you would have did any of that to me at 9, 10 years old and got away with it? No. And then I'm not gonna make this a long one, but what you gotta understand is at some point, Haas, you was making your way to that apartment. Nobody had you at gunpoint. Nobody was kidnapping you and sex trafficking you. You would get up, you and a bunch of other people in that projects that knew Bambaataa was giving that top up. That knew Bambaataa was blowing like a trumpet, blowing like a flute. Y'all was making y'all way to that apartment building, to that apartment, to go inside and get that fellatio. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, Haas. But I rock with Haas. It just is what it is. It is what it is. So you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And that leads me and segues me into my third angle. And that's back to you, Wack 100. And why didn't you handle business when you was in front of Hassan Campbell? If you had animosity towards him, if you have tension towards Haas, if you was feeling all these type of different ways and you a Pyru for 33 years, why you ain't swing on Haas when you was in that room? Huh? Why you ain't get down? That's what you say. That's how you call it. You should get down. Why you ain't get down with Haas? I seen it behind the scenes footage. You had a whole bunch of teeth showing. You was doing a whole bunch of smiling. You was taking a whole bunch of pictures. And then when the camera get on, you try to slightly throw little jabs at Haas that he's not biting the bait because he understands that y'all have an agenda with getting this podcast done. He doesn't want to be the one to ruin it, but you wasn't fully disrespecting him. You understand what I'm saying? You wasn't fully disrespecting Haas. You was throwing rocks and you was hiding your hand. And I know Ak ain't gonna tell you that. Because again, like I told y'all, Ak is not built like that. Ak is not about that life. So Ak gonna let you talk over him. Ak gonna let you insert and inflict your will. And he's not really gonna press, but I'm gonna press. Wack, you supposed to got down if you standing on business. If you had feelings towards Haas like that, you supposed to did your thing, bro. You went in there, you had convo with him, and y'all went y'all separate ways. I understand that Haas could feel your energy because your energy always been finicky. Wack. Always been finicky. Always been a little fraudulent. Right? So Haas knew I got to protect myself. And the way he's talking on his phone, we going to get this recorded. That's like a rapper making raps for artists he don't have beef with yet. I'm going to have this in the cabinet just in case you ever talk sideways. I already got something prepared for you. Can't knock Haas for that. You know what I'm saying? Wack 100, this was the exposure you needed. You've been walking on cloud 9 and acting as if you were above when the whole time you a regular, man. You like Reggie Miller, man. You number 31. You a regular pack. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But if you had that kind of animosity towards Haas, why you ain't get down? Why you ain't put on? Yeah, why you ain't put on? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. We coming from multiple different angles, my G. And that leads me and segues me into my fourth angle. My fourth angle. Yeah, my fourth angle. It's the fourth angle. And that's the squeeze. Oh, yeah, let's talk about the squeeze. Now, again, like I said, Wack 100 got on this live, and he got the copping a plea. He got the waving a white flag. Oh, he waving a white flag. He copped the plea. Not a good look. Not a good look, Wack. You already know how. You already know. Now, what do I mean when I say the squeeze? Wack 100 was on the phone with Hassan Campbell, and he exposed that they put the squeeze on these other podcasters, Drink Champs, Gilly and Wallow. They got Adam 100, Adam No Jumper in the back pocket. But they put the squeeze on him. And then he hops on this live and gets to talking about, oh, I'm not talking about extortion. I'm talking about pressing them. I pressed them. Now, let me say something to you, Wack 100. It's not a good look, man. Stand on business. Stand on your words, man. Stand on Grown Man Business TV. Stand on your words, my boy. Putting the press on somebody and squeezing somebody are two totally different things. And it's crazy that I got to be the one to explain this and, break this down for you and diagnose that for you. Wack, come on, man. Either you pressed them or you squeezed them. And what you said on that phone is you put the squeeze on them. And I'm going to tell you, you got to be honest with yourself. Putting the squeeze on somebody means extorting them. It means extorting them. And that's the content that you was giving it to them. You was talking gangster. You didn't think you was being recorded. You was patting yourself on the back. You was flexing your ego. You wanted Haas to know that you the man. That you got this thing under wraps. That you do what you want to do. And y'all create and y'all control the narrative. Ain't that what you said? We control the narrative. That's what you did. And Haas just exposed it. So instead of trying to make it like you was pressing, you should have stood on the fact that you said you squeezed them boys. You said you squeezed them. Now, listen what I'm saying to you. One thing that, over the years has been revealed to me is that one of the top lucrative businesses in the West Coast, in Cali, is extortion. And I never put two and two together, but you got a lot of athletes in Cali. You got all the music artists that gotta come to Cali. You got all the, movie stars. You got all of these celebrities in Cali. And how do they feel protected? How do they get protection from all of these gangs? Thousands of different gangs in Cali. Extortion. They was extorting everybody. So when these artists end up dead, Pop Smoke, Biggie Smalls, I go down the list. You got to understand that somewhere within the mix, they were either being extorted or they were fighting extortion. Nipsey Hussle. You feel what I'm saying? Biggie and them had the Crips on their side. They were paying. They were being extorted. Pop Smoke said, nah, I'm not paying nothing. I'm not checking it. And you see what happened to him. Nipsey was on he was fighting being extorted from the jump. Wack says something about some music equipment, some recording equipment, and all this extortion. Wack wanted a piece of something. And Nip, again, that's a whole nother video. So Wack, Big U wanted a piece of something, not Wack. But Wack, come on, my G. You said you put the squeeze on them. Either you squeezing them or you pressing them. But those are two totally separate things, and you should know that being your age, my boy. You an old man. You should know that. Yeah. One thing Haas did is he checkmated you. He checkmated Wack 100. And now you hear Wack 100 stepping on his words, talking about how he wanted to fight Haas, but it was all good just a week ago. It was all good just a week ago before that leaked audio came out. Man, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. It gets deep, it gets wicked, and it's always deeper than rap when you scratching the surface. And Wack 100, you ain't standing on Grown Man Business, my boy. You looking like a puppy right now. You need to shoot the fade with somebody. You need to run a fade. The next thing you and Haas need to do is set up the celebrity match. Y'all need to set up the celebrity boxing match because you need to run a fade, my boy. Your talking is done. You're talking too much, obviously. Put this guy on the phone, he get the whole squad indicted. Wack 100. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in or you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick and to the bottle. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives, no sugarcoat, nothing. And we not dressing nothing up. Wack 100, I'm giving it to you straight raw, my boy. Wack 100, I'm giving it to you straight raw. And this is a prime example of when you catch somebody red-handed and they don't know exactly how to get the situation under control. They don't know exactly how to get the situation under wraps. They too far in the deep end. They get to talking gibberish. Wack 100 got on that live and talked about everything under the sun except for what he said on that phone call. He didn't address the fact that he was even talking out of pocket on the phone call. It doesn't matter that you and Big U aren't cool anymore. It doesn't matter if Big U was on the three-way or not. What you said about you has to be addressed. What you said about Nip has to be, what you said about squeezing has to be addressed. And instead of taking it out on Haas, man up. Take accountability for what you said and address what you said. Don't talk about disrespecting Haas and talking about somebody taking his manhood. And I get all that because it is some factuals in there. Haas, Bambaataa still walking around. You know, dumb it down a little bit. All that gangsterism ain't going to go too far if the man who thied you is still walking around. And you talking about you ain't got it in your heart to do nothing because he put groceries in your mom's refrigerator. So a man can touch you, molest you, and you will let it ride because he fed you? You got to figure that out, Haas. But everything else, man, Wack, you looking crazy. You looking crazy, my boy, and it is what it is, and we standing on grown man business on this side. We standing on Grown Man Business TV. Oh, and we got Grown Man Business TV 2.0. Go follow the channel. That's going to be a whole nother angle. Yeah, that's the 2.0. 2.0. You know what time it is. You know how we rocking. So you already know how I do. Here, Grown Man Business TV. You know, you can tap in or you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Gang.